I'd just like to introduce you to a rule we have now. This is going to be our first time. Please take your cell phone out and put it in silent mode. Anybody whose cell phone that goes off is going to owe us $50. Get your cell phone out now or your checks. Okay? You know, this seems to be a very gregarious crowd. This morning you might have read the Arizona Republic, and there's another long line of slurs against the Arpaio Thomas team. But it was also this article by Mr. Robert Robb was directed towards us. It was the populist conservative constituency that so idolizes this team. And it seemed to me from reading the article that the main attribute of this populist conservative group was that we just wanted to see laws be enforced. And after reading the article, it seemed to me that to call somebody the idol of this kind of a group would be to pay them an incredibly high compliment. Now, when Anna asked me to introduce Andrew Thomas to you, she said find all kinds of lofty things to say about him. And after considering all these lofty things, I thought to myself, the greatest thing I can say about this man would be just to quote Mr. Robb. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you tonight a hero. Not only a hero, but our hero, Maricopa County Attorney.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind. Can everyone hear me all right? Well, it's nice to be greeted by people other than lawyers for criminals in the valley, lawyers for illegal immigrants, the Arizona Republic, which, you know, I was afraid he was going to introduce me by quoting from the Arizona Republic, and I was sort of bracing myself, and maybe he took the one half a line that was positive out of their daily diatribe. I've gotten to the point now when I speak to audiences that I feel like quoting General Patton when he stood in front of his soldiers and he said, I just want you to see if I'm as big an SOB as everyone says I am. But obviously we have our detractors, but this is one audience I don't need to tell about the reason why we're seeing that. There's a common thread to all that criticism, and it's about this issue. I mean, let's just be honest, and I'm going to get right to it. The issue of illegal immigration, which is why you formed this group, why you're involved in politics, it's a critical issue. And there are powerful elites that are opposed to everything that you stand for. And the reason I have run for public office, the things that the sheriff is doing, the things Russell Pierce is doing, and it is not a coincidence that the three of us have received some of the worst thrashings from our opponents in campaigns, in the media, every day practically in the so-called newspaper of record here in the Valley. It's because of this issue. That is the common red thread that runs through all of this. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. But let me begin overall, before I talk about some of the issues that I care about in the fight against illegal immigration. I want to just thank you for caring. Thank you for being here on a night when you could be doing something else, obviously. You could be doing what a lot of people are doing. And my wife's at home. She's got our kids running around to practices. We all have things to do. And I don't judge anybody for what they do, because we have to do those things too. But you have taken time out of your night, out of a Wednesday night, to be here and to express concern and show support for your country. And we are a country that is suffering. We are hemorrhaging along our border. And it has taken decades, not years, but decades, to get any level of government in the United States to care about this issue and finally to act on it. And I want to thank you for continuing to be engaged in this fight, and for recognizing those of us in public office who are taking arrows every day for trying to do something about this issue, and not just mouthing cliches about, yeah, let's secure the border, and then you get reelected, and then you change the subject and you head for the tall grass, which is what's been done for years, and nothing has ever been done about this issue until very recently. When I ran for county attorney originally, that was in the year 2004. And you may remember I had signs. They diamond signs that year. So many campaigns, so many signs, but they were diamond signs that year. And there was a slogan at the top, which said, "Stop illegal immigration." Some of you may remember that. It was considered controversial, very controversial at the time. Because at that time, this is 6 years ago, there were no state laws to fight illegal immigration. That was the year, for those of you who were involved, who were the real veterans, sort of like the Revere writers, I guess, for the American Revolution, but the people who were involved in the original Prop 200, which was passed by the voters in 2004, and I was elected in 2004. It was considered an upset. I was running against people who had the support of the establishment, and the Republic was coming after me, and more things change, the more they stay the same as far as that goes. But that was the first sign that this state was waking up to this problem, was serious about tackling it, and was looking for leadership to address this urgent problem. And I was sort of the butt of jokes because of my slogan. People were saying, well, what are you going to do as county attorney to stop illegal immigration? Are you going to put troops down on the border or prosecutors down on the border? I mean, what are you going to do? Well, shortly after that, we were able to answer that question because we went to the legislature. We got the legislature to change laws, to pass laws and to change existing laws that gave us a legal infrastructure to fight illegal immigration at the state and local level, which is what needed to be done. Because let's be honest, the federal government, no question, it is the federal government's responsibility to secure the border. But it is also, without question, the federal government hasn't been doing it for decades and has no intention of doing it. And the only real immigration reform we're likely to see for the foreseeable future is amnesty. And that's the reality. So given that set of facts, we in Arizona, we are a self-sufficient and independent group of people, and we can take care of ourselves. So let's elect leaders who will do what needs to be done on the border in law enforcement and in passing laws that will deter illegal immigration. That was the seed of all of this change, and it started, I was elected in 2004, Prop 200 was passed in 2004, and then year after year we've gotten more and more legal tools to go after illegal immigration. We had the human smuggling law passed in 2005. That was a huge change. That made it a crime to be smuggled illegally into Arizona. And I don't know how many lawsuits. We had we had lawyers roll in from Los Angeles who were retained by the Mexican government to challenge Arizona laws, the Arizona human smuggling law. We had to go to federal court. We had a judge who threw out the first jury conviction of an illegal immigrant under the human smuggling law. We appealed. We won on that. We have won on every major legal fight we have faced regarding illegal immigration, which, given that we are in the Ninth Circuit, which is the most liberal federal circuit in the nation, that's astounding. I helped defend the Prop 200. If you remember, the Prop 200 provision in 2004 had two parts to it. One was supposed to do away with benefits for illegal immigrants. Unfortunately, our current Attorney General ignored that, and we've gotten the law changed so that the full intent of Prop 200 has become law. But the second part was to deal with voter fraud, was to make sure that people had to show some ID, that they were citizens before they voted. That seems like a pretty modest requirement, but that wasn't being done then. We had to fight. We ultimately had to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and our office was